So, picture this. You did it. You picked the winner, you laid down the bet, and now you're staring at a beautiful pile of winnings in your account. The rush is real. But then, you go to cash out, and bam, you hit a wall. The betting site wants your passport, a utility bill, all this personal stuff, and just like that, the party comes to a screeching halt. What in the world is going on?
But hey, don't sweat it. This is a totally standard part of the game, and I'm going to walk you right through it. We'll kick things off by talking about that initial what the heck moment. Then we're going to demystify that KYC acronym you see everywhere. We'll cover why the bookies really need your info, give you the exact checklist of what to have ready, and I'll wrap it up with my personal tips to make sure you get your hands on your winnings fast.
All right, first up, let's talk about that feeling. You've won, the money's right there, but all of a sudden, there's a roadblock. So what's the catch?
It's a totally fair question. Everything was smooth sailing when you were depositing money, wasn't it? So why the sudden 20 questions now that you actually want to withdraw? It can feel super frustrating, and honestly, for a lot of people, it might even feel a little bit shady.
And this quote right here just hits the nail on the head. But I want to be crystal clear, this is not a nightmare, and it's definitely not a scam. It's just a standard, required step in the online betting world. So, let's break down what's really going on here.
Okay, so if it's not some sneaky trick, what is it? You've probably seen this acronym, KYC, popping up. Let's get into what that actually stands for.
KYC stands for Know Your Customer. And this isn't some random rule made up by your betting site. No, it's a mandatory process that's required by the big regulatory bodies. Think of them like the official referees of the betting world. They're the ones who make sure everything is safe, fair, and transparent for everybody. Now, look at this. This slide really lays out the stakes, doesn't it? If your account is unverified, you simply cannot get your winnings out. End of story. And in some cases, your account might even get closed down. But once you're verified, oh yeah, you get full access to your cash, lightning-fast withdrawals, and you're usually eligible for way better bonuses. So, let's be real. Verification is your golden ticket to the good stuff.
So we know it's a rule, but why? It's not just about ticking boxes. There are actually 3 really important reasons why these sites are legally required to get this information from you.
First, and this is the big one, it's to stop underage gambling. The site has to prove you're old enough to play, whether that's 18 plus or 21 plus. Second, it's about something called anti-money laundering, or AML. This stops criminals from using betting sites to clean dirty money. And third, it's about protecting you. It helps with self-exclusion programs and keeps your financial data locked down tight. When you boil it all down, KYC is actually a good thing. It's the system that keeps the whole industry legit and protects you, the player. That's why picking a well-regulated site is so important. By the way, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser.
Okay, enough of the why, let's get to the how. I'm going to give you the exact checklist of documents you'll need so you can get this done and dusted in one single go.
So you usually have 3 ways to send your stuff in. The most common one by far is just uploading the documents directly on the website, usually in your account settings. Super easy. Some places will let you email them, which is also really quick. And every once in a blue moon, you might see an option to send them by regular mail, but that's pretty rare these days.
First up, you gotta prove you are who you say you are. For this, you'll need a government-issued photo ID. A national ID card works great, just make sure you snap a picture of both the front and the back. A passport photo page is perfect too, and so is a clear shot of your driving license.
Next up, they need to know where you live. Now, listen up, because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. The document you use must be recent. We're talking issued within the last 3 to 6 months. A bill from last year won't cut it. A recent utility bill, a bank statement, or even a local tax bill should do the trick just fine.
And finally, you'll often need to prove that the money you used is actually yours. This could be a bank statement, a screenshot of your e-wallet account that clearly shows your name, or even just a photo of the credit or debit card you used.
Okay, now this is a really important tip for your own security. When you take a photo of your card, you only need to show the first 4 and the last 4 digits. Go ahead and cover up those middle 8 numbers. And, most importantly, cover up that 3-digit CVC code on the back. They don't need it, and it keeps your info safe. You know, these little best practices are just as important as choosing a great site to begin with. Speaking of which, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser.
All right,
You've got your checklist. Now let's move on to the good stuff, the pro tips. This is how you get ahead of the curve and make sure that payout process is as fast as humanly possible.
This is my #1 absolute top tip. Do not wait until you've won. The second you create your account, go straight to that verification section and get it over with. Waiting gets you nothing, and doing it early means 0 delays when it's time to cash out that big win.
My second tip is so simple, but it's vital. Bad photos are the #1 reason for delays. Make sure your pictures are bright, clear, and not blurry at all. And here's the key. All 4 corners of the document have to be visible in the photo. Don't crop anything out. This will save you that annoying back and forth with customer support.
So, how long does this all take? Well, on most international sites, you can expect it to be done within about 24 to 48 hours. And here's a little insider hack for you. Try submitting your documents on a weekday. The support teams are usually swamped on weekends, so a Tuesday submission is almost always going to be faster than a Saturday one.
So what's the big takeaway here? KYC isn't some obstacle they put in your way. It's a one-time security check that protects everybody, keeps you safe, and is basically the final key to unlocking fast, easy access to your winnings. It's the sign of a safe and legit site, which is exactly what you should be looking for. And as one last tip, if you are looking for a list of the best betting sites in your country with a 300% bonus, just search for betplace.us in your browser.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to a simple trade-off, right? We all want everything to be instant, but we also demand that our money and our data are totally secure. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. In our crazy digital world, isn't a tiny, one-time inconvenience a pretty fair price to pay for total peace of mind?